welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about multiplying fractions. So in my other video on adding and subtracting fractions, if you haven't seen that already, it'll be right up here in the descriptions, right here. So in adding and subtracting fractions, I told you that to add and subtract fractions, you need to have common denominators, two denominators that are common. But that doesn't really matter when you're multiplying fractions, whether it has the same denominator or different denominators. You don't have to turn them into common denominators. That's just honestly just useless. So what you're going to want to do is when you're multiplying fractions is, say you have a question like 3/4, times 2/5. So you wouldn't do common denominators. You would honestly just multiply as it is. So you just do 3 times 2 and 4 times 5. And you would just multiply across, top to top, bottom to bottom. So 3 times 2 would be 6 and 4 times 5 would be 20. So it's not honestly really hard to understand. Pretty easy, self-explanatory, not that hard. So I don't think we're going to need to work on any more examples, but I am going to show you a trick right here. Okay, so say we have a fraction like 5/9 times 3/10. So you can just go ahead and multiply, but what's gonna make life really easy for you is if you look across, if you look at this 5 and this 10, you could see that they both can be divisible by one number. 5 and 10 both go into 5. And so we can divide each of these numbers by 5. So if we divided 5 by 5, 5 divided by 5 would be 1, and we're going to cross that number out because we're not going to be working with that number anymore because we just simplified. And if we divide 10 by 5, it would be 2. And same, if we look at these two numbers, we see that 3 and 9 are both divisible by 3. So we can divide both of these numbers by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. And 9 divided by 3 is 3. So now since we have it simplified, it's a lot easier to work with. See, you can just multiply the top numbers and multiply the bottom numbers. So 1 times 1 is 1, and 3 times 2 is 6. Or else we would have to multiply them and then simplify them. So that's how it's going to work. So it can only work with numbers across. So one from the top and one from the bottom on either side. It can't go like one from the top and one from the bottom like this. It has to be across. So let's work on another problem with more than two numbers. So say we have 2/3 times 4/5 times 15, let's say 15/8. Okay, so you see how this is an improper fraction, right? So when you're multiplying and dividing fractions, you can't you can't multiply and divide fractions when they are mixed numbers. They have to be an improper fraction. And if you want to check out my how to divide fractions video, it'll be right up here in the icons. So now it works the same way. If a number from the top and a number from the bottom can be divisible by a single number, then we can divide it. So I can see here that 4 and 8 can both be divided by 4. So I'm going to divide 4 and 8 by 4. So 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 8 divided by 4 is 2. And I can see that 5 and 15 can both be divided by 5. So I'm going to divide each of these numbers by 5. So 5 divided by 5 is 1, and 15 divided by 5 is 3. Oh, wait, look. Now we have 3 and 3, and we know that 3 and 3 can be divided by 3. So I'm going to simplify that as well. So 3 divided by 3 divided by 3 is 1, and this 3 divided by 3 is 1 as well. So now we have this 2 and this 2. So I know that 2 and 2 can be divided by 2. So I'm also going to simplify that part. So 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 2 divided by 2 is 1. So you're just going to see if two numbers from the top and the bottom, diagonal wise, not the one in the same, let's call this a row, not in the one in the same row. It has to be in a different row, and it can only be numerator and denominator. It can't be denominator and denominator. You can't do 2 from the bottom or 2 from the top. You have to do 1 from the top and 1 from the bottom. So now what we're going to do is, you can see all of these numbers and all of the answers. So now, just to make life a little bit easier, we're going to write this out a second time with all the simplified answers this time. So at the top we have a 1 as an answer, another one as an answer, and another one as an answer. So we have 1 times 1 times 1. And we have 3 ones at the bottom. 1, 1, 1. So now it's really easy to simplify, because 1 times 1 times 1 is just 1, and all of these ones is equal to 1. And we know that any number with the denominator of 1 can be just written as that whole number. So our answer is going to be 1. And this just makes life a lot easier, and it just makes simplifying numbers really, really easy. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe to my channel, and comment down below any questions you have. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys all next time. Bye!